Hi, I'm Stice. Welcome to Climate Action Live.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
So, Carl, you're the executive director at Pacific Farmer Organizations. Could you tell us about your mission and your latest work?
Yeah, so we're a network of about 35 farmer organizations in 12 different countries. And these are local organizations led by local people. And very important to the climate agenda is they're also implementing local solutions. So our goal is to help local people implement local solutions to climate adaptation.
Carl, that's amazing. So, it's June 2024. What's your assessment of the current situation in relation to our journey of protecting our people and the planet, particularly in your field of farming?
Yeah, so in the Pacific Islands, over 70% of people live in rural areas, and those people are almost entirely dependent on the land and the ocean for their livelihoods. So as we see these climate extremes, so we've had category 5 cyclones at an unprecedented level, we've had floods, we've had drought. Livelihoods are very much being impacted by these climate extremes, which are linked to climate change. So the last decade has really been the hardest decade for farmers in the Pacific. So we see that the issue is really on our doorstep at this moment.
So, a phrase, no climate action, no peace. Could you talk to me about what you think when you hear that statement?
Yeah, so obviously, when people have food, when they have income, livelihood, when there's order in the home, there's order in the village. When there's order in the village, there's order in the community. And what we see is the effects of climate extremes is disorder. And that disorder causes all kinds of ramifications in the communities and in the homes.
Well, given the global crisis that's unfolding, Carl, do you think we have the ability to unite and stand together as one to protect our planet and each other?
Yeah, look, I really believe that farmers in the Pacific are at the forefront of the impacts of climate change. And I hate to say this, but they are some of the greatest victims. But at the same time, they are the solution providers. For thousands of years, these rural people, farmers, have been adapting their lives, adapting their farming systems to cope with climate extremes. So we need to pay attention to these local people. We need to pay attention to these local solutions. And through our network and many other regional bodies, we are seeing cooperation on an unprecedented scale where many nations are coming together. They're acknowledging, Laura, that we are victims, but we are solution providers as well. So our hope is that the global scale will recognize how much impacted these farmers are in the Pacific, but also how they hold some of the solutions and acknowledging the traditional knowledge that's out there to be able to adapt to these climate extremes. We talk about climate smart agriculture. This doesn't mean just technology from the Western world, but in fact, this is traditional knowledge that is climate smart, that has helped them to adapt over thousands of years. And we believe that by enhancing that traditional knowledge, we can also help adapt to the changing climate that's on us right now.
So if people want to support, right, they want to support local farmers. I mean, what advice would you give to people to make the most impactful contribution to the farming community?
Yeah, we really believe that farmers need to have a seat at the table. So many discussions globally are about farmers that don't have farmers there. So whether it's at the regional level or at the global level, invite farmers for their perspective. And then when you invite them, actually listen, because the traditional knowledge that's there, the experience that's there is invaluable to this conversation. No longer can we rely on government leaders to make all of the decisions for rural people. No longer can we allow Western science to plot the way forward for climate adaptation. So my biggest goal my biggest message is for the world to acknowledge that farmers are victims, but they are also solution providers. Give them a seat at the table. Listen to traditional knowledge and see how we can use science to enhance that. And when we have this more holistic approach where the solutions are being implemented by local people at the local level, that's where we can see a real impact. We have so many great initiatives that our governments are deciding, whether it be about regenerative agriculture, reforestation, but these things cannot be done except by the local people, except by the landowners and the stewards of the land. So making those decisions without those people, it's going to be a failed effort.
Amazing. So, if people would like to support you in your work, how can they best do this?
If you are in the Pacific, if you are a farmer in the Pacific, my message is join a farmer organization. If you are a government or a development partner working in the Pacific Islands, find a local farmer organization. Ask them what are their biggest issues. Also, what are the opportunities? Farmer organizations are an important part of this development model for climate adaptation. At the global level, we're seeing only 0.04% of climate finance is reaching smallholder farmers. We need to see more of that climate finance being allocated to farmers, but also for implementation at the grassroots level. So we have a regional body that can help implement some of these initiatives, make sure that it's reaching some of these small farmer organizations, but you can also find a local farmer organization and see how you can support them.
Carl, I have to ask you, I mean, in terms of a book or a film that's really inspired you, in relation to farming and us understanding more about its place at the table, what would you recommend?
Actually, I'd recommend going on YouTube right now and searching up FestPac 2024, the Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture, where this message is coming out that we are no longer just a lot of spots or small islands in the ocean, but actually the stewards of the largest ocean in the world, cultures that are many thousands of years old, surviving and thriving in some of the most difficult circumstances. So watch the dances, listen to the speeches that are happening right now at FestPac 2024, and I guarantee that you will be inspired to look a little bit deeper into the traditional knowledge and the experiences of Pacific Island people that can be applied to this global challenge of climate change.
Carl, incredible. We wish you the very best on your journey. Good luck.
Thank you so much for the time.